Alright, short little video for you about closing costs. Closing costs is actually two things that people get confused about. And there are two types of closing costs. Historically, what people think of as closing costs are the cost to close the loan. Right? The loan, the escrow, any prepaids, all that kind of stuff that has to do with the loan. People refer to those as closing costs. Nowadays, if a seller pays for those are considered seller concessions. So in the contract to buy and sell in Colorado, there's a section where it says seller concessions, and there's a dollar amount written into that slot, and let's say $3,000. That means that the seller will pay up to $3,000 towards the buyer's closing costs, aka concessions. Right? And then there's a whole section in the contract, paragraph 15. That one people get confused about. It says closing costs, and then there's some boxes, to check for who pays for it, buyer, seller, or one half buyer and one half seller. And in our market, that's the one that's checked, one half buyer, one half seller. And so everyone says, well, wait. At least all the sellers do. They say, well, I already agreed to pay for the closing costs. What's this mean? Well, that is actually a very, very specific thing. In Colorado, almost all the closings are done by a title company with title insurance. That company charges a fee to do the transaction, right? To conduct the transaction, and they charge usually between $200 and $250, depending on the company, to do that. And that is generally split one half buyer, one half seller. So in section 15, the one that actually says closing costs, it doesn't mean the seller concessions, the big dollar amounts that everyone thinks of when a buyer comes and says, well, won't the seller pay my closing costs? Yes, they will. Those are known as concessions. Our actual closing cost is the amount of money that the title company charges to conduct the transaction, and it's not very much, $220, $110 a piece, and it'll be on your closing documents as that. So that's it, closing costs. It's slightly complicated because it's actually two things in most people's mind. And we'll catch you with a new video real soon.